let me cut across to our top story here on the CBI probing builder bank nexus, a struggle for many home buyers for years now. Seems like there's some light at the end of the tunnel. In a landmark step, the Supreme Court has cleared the CBI to file 6 more FIRs in the builder bank nexus probe, adding to the 22 cases already underway. In fact, the scam that spans Mumbai, Bengaluru, Kolkata, Mohali, Prayagraj and NCR. The modus operandi worked like this. Banks leased loan amounts straight into builders' accounts under subvention schemes. Builders promised to pay EMIs until the flats were handed over to the buyers. But when the builders defaulted, the banks then turned to the home buyers and said, you pay the EMIs, even before they actually had the home in their hands. Now, projects remain incomplete for decades almost. Many of the builders there have faulted. Families have ended up paying those EMIs. They're under loans now and paying rent of their own house that they're living in. And no home to show really. And they've been struggling for years. And finally, this case has been handed over to the CBI. The CBI has already done its investigation primarily. And now additionally, apart from the 22 cases filed earlier, another 6 the Supreme Court has directed the CBI to file. In fact, the bench, including Justices Suryakant, Ujjal Bhuyan and N. Koteshwar Singh, have noted that 8 lenders and home financiers were named in amicus Rajiv Jain's report. And those include, I'm going to list them, India Bulls Housing Finance, PNB Housing Finance, Diwan Housing Finance, HDFC, ICICI Bank, L&T Housing Finance, Aditya Birla Housing Finance and Yes Bank. Now, developers like Supertech, particularly at the center of this, being accused of raising nearly 5,157 crores through banks and institutions since 1998. Supertech has actually raised this amount, but many of the apartments still not handed over to the rightful buyers. Its dealings with Corporation Bank, IDBI Bank, Punjab Sind Bank, Indian Bank and Punjab National Bank are all currently under probe. Supreme Court has called this a systematic fleecing of home buyers, a nexus of builders and financiers thriving on broken promises. Will the expanded CBI probe now finally stop the harassment of home buyers? What are the warning signs to watch out for before buying a home? Pankaj Gupta, JP home buyer, joining me live. He's in fact been protesting for many, many years. Akshay Srivastava, advocate on record, Supreme Court of India. Amit Raj Jain, real estate expert and founder, Oram Colonizers and Stride Home Build. Let me start with the home buyer himself, Mr. Pankaj Gupta. Are you part of the protesting group? Have you also been cheated in this manner? How long have you waited?
So, ma'am, after I booked my home around 2011 and now we are in 2025. Now, whatever you are asking me, this seems to me like a joke. I am here as a victim home buyer. So I cannot say anything more than that. So had I been got possession of my house till to date, I would have said something has shown light. But today, still we are struggling with same thing.
Are you paying EMIs?
My question is where that money
EMIs?
has gone.
Yeah.
Yes, I am paying EMI and my only 50 EMI has been remaining. After 4 years, I'll be out of EMI.
My God.
And I do not know whether within next 1 or 2 years, I'll get possession. I'm still dicey.
For 4 years, you've paid EMI to which bank?
For 11 years, from
11 years you paid EMI to ICICI Bank. 11 years you paid EMI.
Sorry, ma'am. Correct. No. Let me correct. From 2011, I am paying EMI. In next 4 years, it will be over. So, I will finish all EMI.
So you have been paying for nearly 15 years already. Another 4 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Roughly 20 years.
Another 4 years left. That's it. And after that, bank will say bye-bye.
Did you not resist? Did you not resist when the bankers said that
yes, ma'am,
when the builders told you that they are the ones who are going to pay the EMI, you don't have to pay the EMI until the home comes to you. Why did you buckle?
Ma'am, I am very simple common man. I stopped EMI in between and I had to face few representative of banks who approached me and came with so many terms and conditions, and I had to revive EMI, and even I paid fine, that fine and all charges of not paying those EMIs, which I stopped.
I feel terrible, sir. I'm really sorry to hear that. And I really hope that you get your apartment
And
and you get double
just
the
for your
compensation for your struggle and wait.
just for your viewers, my daughter was toddler when I booked this home, and today she is going to attempt 12th examination, and just few days before she told me, can I go and see what is this structure you are talking about from last 10-15 years?
And this is JP.
Yes, it is JP, and I thought JP was one of the best builder in NCR when I booked it.
This is just so tragic and sad, you know. Akshay Srivastava, if you want to come in on this, how did banks and financiers clear such massive loans in the first place without monitoring builders' repayment capacity? Either this looks like a complete fraud that builders like Supertech and a few others had a name in the market. So I can assume why the banks believed in them and gave them that kind of loan. So this only makes me believe that this was a fraud right from the word go. That allegedly Supertech had in mind to take that money and never to deliver.
You're absolutely correct on that aspect that yes, the banks have actually disbursed the total amounts. Now, if you see the RBI guidelines, now the guidelines says which the banks are it's mandatory for the banks to follow. It says that the banks before disbursing even a single rupee as a bank loan, they are supposed to conduct their own due diligence. They have to make sure that there's a viability and there has to be construction linked plans. Now, the banks, without any due diligence, without any architect's report, without any verifying the stage of the constructions, at the request of the builder, have directly disbursed these amounts. Now, Mr. Gupta's condition is absolutely correct. Now, please see his condition today. Today, he is also almost 4 years more, and he will be out of the bank loan is gone, but he still doesn't have the property in his possession. Now, that's the same condition for every single home buyer as of today. Why the Supreme Court had to interfere? Because it was a public issue. The court, ideally, High Court should have interfered in all this, but the High Court did not interfere, said that you have alternate remedies. RERA does not govern the bank actions. So banks have absolutely flouted. RBI took no action against the banks. That was a most shocking thing for all of us. Why did the RBI remain as a mute spectator? Why the government would remain as a mute spectator despite RERA coming in 2016, we are in 2025. Maximum projects, almost more than 40 projects are under investigation as of today. So there are serious lapses and still no actions are being taken. The investigation, of course, that is.
No, I just want to know, should we have hope? Now, home buyers, I've been saying in my story as well that one step closer to justice, a light at the end of the tunnel, etc. Am I really jumping the gun? Do you believe that the CBI probe will crack down on these builders? Will they be liable to pay back all that money? Or is it easy for them to just, raise their hands and say we're bankrupt now? No money to give back.
No, see, the court is also looking towards a solution. See, we all know that now there's, of course, a problem. We also need to figure out what the solution is. At the end of the day, the banks are also dealing with the public money, right? So the solution is, of course, the pre-EMIs, EMIs, whatever the buyers have given. See, it's very difficult to get it back from the banks. Ideally, they must return it back to the home buyer because that was not their liability in the first place. So they need to adjust these things. See, the similar situation arose in Unitech, Amrapali cases also. Supreme Court stopped the banks from taking any action against any of the home buyers. Supreme Court said till the time the possession is not given to these home buyers, no bank will take any action against the home buyers. Right? So similar approach has to be there. Now, whatever amounts are remaining, there has to be some monitoring that needs to be done for completion of these projects. So the primary responsibility of any authority, RERA being it RERA or any other authority being appointed by the courts, they need to strictly monitor that whatever money is still left to be paid by the home buyers or the banks, they need to utilize it absolutely only for the construction purpose, not for any other purpose.
Well, I'm sure they're going about living their life. Maybe Amit Jain could fill us in on that. You're a real estate expert. Mr. Amit Jain, could you list out the names of these companies that are still thriving after defrauding lakhs of their buyers? They're still going about doing their business. They may be pretending to have no money or they don't have money. I'm not too sure what the reality is. But the fact is that they still exist, they're still building, they're still selling, they're still in the market. Is that true?
Well, yes, there are a lot of builders who are still operating. And let's first go into the genesis of this one. This started about 15, 17 years ago. It is the banks that came in with this subvention scheme. Builders never went to banks for subvention scheme. Builder lapped it up. Wow, there's somebody who's coming in saying, okay, I will give you money on behalf of the buyer. Now listen, if bank has to lend to a developer, they will do 100 types of due diligence. His financial capacity, everything, so many things that are done. Because here the bank has to recover money. In the subvention scheme, it is the beauty of the scheme is this, that one rich man asks for money from another rich man saying, if I don't pay you, this is a poor man standing right next to me, he will pay you. So this is a marriage of convenience. So I think the biggest culprit in this is the bank. And the second culprit is the builder who actually defaulted in this whole thing that he didn't deliver. Now I'll tell you what, this whole scam is now coming out because of the fact that builder defaulted. Imagine had builder not defaulted in this, scam scheme, this scheme would have been going on forever. Nobody would have come to know that this is happening. How and why banks are lending to developers whom they are not sure of delivering. And if they're so sure of they were delivering, why they're asking the EMI from the home buyer? They should recover that money from the developer. For home buyer, it is a double whammy. Ghar bhi nahi mila, and he has to pay EMI on top of it. Rent bhi de raha hai, EMI bhi de raha. So there are a lot of developers, I'm sure, still doing it. The names, I'm sure, we can figure out the names as well. But I think the Supreme Court has to come out really hard on these lenders, because it is the lenders who are supposed to check the financial capability of a developer in returning the money or delivering the product.
Mr. Gupta, your word on this, is there, what are the measures that the home buyers are trying to take? We know that complaints, multiple of them filed, Supreme Court is now on this, your case will be set as example, but any guidelines that these authorities have given you as home buyers, or promises, assurances, has anything come your way right now? And what is the decision that you all as a community who've been defrauded taken? How you will pursue this?
See, right now what is happening, like this thing through Supreme Court, we are welcoming this, but whole ecosystem requires some overhauling, and I would use a word like a surgical strike is to be done on such system, because it is not only few 50 people are getting impacted, it is lakhs of people getting impacted. Each one buyer, like me, my whole family is getting impacted, and you see it is a multiple impact, multiple people are getting impacted, and we individually cannot say anything, because we have said so much through every channel. We have met everybody, we have met ministers, we have gone to authorities, we have written letter to PMO office, everything. I can show you my email box, it is full with all those things. But now something different has to be done to stop this, and for future these all things should be stopped, because my 20 years have gone. Now today I'm 50. I was 35 when I booked home. So all my 15 years where I could actually grow more faster, that is gone. Now I have to slow down and get settled down in my job also. You understand what is impacting? It is not impacting financially. My growth is also stopped, because I have to pay EMI, and I am afraid if I lose job, who will pay EMI?
Yeah.
So something different has to be happen. So we are out of idea what to be done. It truly, once again, I'll say it every day now. Earlier we used to get, depressed. Now it feels like a joke. We booked a home 15 years ago and still we don't have anything in hand.
All right, Mr. Jain, a final word from you on what, as a Supreme Court advocate, would you want to advise to these home buyers on what fate to keep, what hopes to have? We know Supreme Court has taken this matter, so there seems to be at least some headway in the case, but how long, in your view, cases like this take for buyers to find justice?
For cases like this, even the court has remarked that they are going to take it on a rotational basis, monthly basis. That
Yeah.
is the reason why it's being listed time and again. So, and everything has to be done in a time-bound manner. If you see even the previous order, the seventh preliminary inquiry, so they did not leave it to the CBI to complete it. Rather, they said you please complete it within 6 weeks. So the court day one has categorically made it clear that they are supervising and everything has to be done in a very time bound manner. It's good that yes, the Supreme Court is taking these actions, and definitely by this year end, we are hoping that we'll have some solution to the problem.
All right. Well, we're really hoping for this solution to come about at the earliest, but I really appreciate all of you joining us on this. A final word, Mr. Amit Jain, do you want to stress that the buyers should have faith that money will come back? And I hope the at least new buyers or new builders right now are following guidelines imposed by the authorities.
As much as I would like to be hopeful, but
Yeah.
I don't see any solution in the short term.
Yeah.
Supreme Court will have to really come hard and form some sort of a solutionary, some magic has to appear so that these guys get their hopes. Now, in future, I think what RERA has to step in and see the track record of the builder before they are allowed sale. So if a builder has been habitually delaying the projects, let him not sell before he completes 50%. If a builder is, habitually, he's a little better, let him not sell till he completes 20%. Only A-grade builders who've been delivering on time should be allowed to sell before start of construction. But there has to be some solution. But I don't think so anybody is interested in solution. They only come in when the fire has already come in. We just want to put out the fire. There's no point. One should be vigilant enough. We have so many bodies. We have courts. We have RERA. I mean, I'm surprised. Nobody's looking at it. Still builders are coming in. Still promises are being made. Still being sold at high prices. Earlier, the promises were 3 years. Now the promises are 5 years. What will happen after 5 years? We can be sitting here, maybe talking like this again.
All right. We're really praying and we're hoping that those like Mr. Pankaj Gupta really find relief at the earliest, and they should be doubly compensated for all the torture and struggle that they had to endure for the last 2 decades. I really appreciate all of you joining us on this. Thank you.